You know, you came from the private sector into politics. And there's so many people out there who are watching elections to test the waters and see what kind of step will they take. Because time and again, we talk about encouraging people to come in and not just let them run it and then the professionals just sit back. What would you consider as lessons in these elections?
Like you said, I came from the private sector and I've been in politics actively in the past since 2006, actually. For me, it's been mixed feelings. But again, my take is that a lot more people should come into the fold. We should not sit back and just be passive and be complaining that things are not done the way they should. We should take the space from the so-called charlatans that have been doing all sorts of things in time past. I've learned a lot of lessons. I'm learning every day, and I'm still learning. I've learned that, 1, you don't take your people for granted. 2, you don't play God when eventually you have an opportunity to serve. 3, you're not a leader if you don't have, the followership, because, again, that's what makes you a leader. 3, I've also learned that there's so much intrigue in politics.
That'll be 4.
That'll be 4. Oh, 4. Thank you, Malcolm. I'm telling you, so many intrigues, so many that sometimes you can't even predict what will happen next. I mean, you go to bed thinking that it's been done this way. You wake up in the morning, it's a different ballgame. I've had personal experiences. All right? I had been nominated a cabinet member, congratulated, prepared for swearing in tomorrow morning. Believe me, I got up in the morning. I said, okay, let me just play a game of golf before, going to be sworn in. And my phone kept ringing, and I just excused myself. I said, I need to take this call. I'm sorry, it doesn't go with the game, but let me take this call. And I saw missed calls. Where are you? Your name is missing. That's politics. It happened to me. I had won an election to go to the State House of Assembly, and that ticket was just taken away from me and given to somebody else for no reason. And you ask questions and say, well, sorry, he's been with us since ages. I said, why did you tell me when I've been on the field for 3 years? Stories.
Now tell me, are you surprised at the results of those polls?
Yes. As a party, we're surprised. As an individual, I'm surprised. Why? Because, like I said, we went into the elections to win. We traversed the length and breadth of Ekiti. We sold a manifesto of change to the electorate. We never, there was no time we took the proletariat for granted, because we know quite already that these are the people that would vote. And the brand that we sold to Ekiti people, it's a wonderful brand. And we know that Ekiti people, they love him so much. So we expected to win. The outcome of the election is a story for another day. So many things happened, but I will not want to delve into details.
Yeah, I do know that, I was listening to the governor's, the current governor, incumbent governor's concession speech, and he considered defeat. And he did say that will be something for scholars. We also had the Labour Party chairman here yesterday, and he spoke a great deal on factors he thought contributed to the loss of the incumbent governor. I was just wondering if the same would apply to your party. What do you think would have caused the loss you experienced at the polls?
What I explained earlier on that happened from Monday and, culminated in the bulk SMS that went out just at the onset of accreditation was one. There were so many other things that also happened.
You don't want to tell us?
I would say that the election had been concluded. Sometimes you lose the battle to eventually win the war. For us, my principal said something at the onset of this electionary campaign. He said, if I win, I win. If I lose, I still win. For us, we've been able to prove to Ekiti people and the world at large that the tyranny of incumbency should be done away with completely in this country. When people put you in a position, you don't forget those that put you there. When you promise your people to do something, you get there, based on that promise, you don't renege on such promises.
You sound like you're still very bitter.
I'm not bitter. Why should I? I'm an Ekiti person. I'm actually okay. As a party, we're not even bitter. That's the truth.
I haven't finished
my
statement. you're still a little, well, maybe bitter might not be the word. You still sound very angry towards the incumbent current holder of the office.
Well, that's the truth. Every discerning Ekiti person must be angry. 43 months down the line, it's no joke. If I add that to my age, I know what it will be, so add that to Ekiti age. 43 months, it's a long time.
Why are you angry?
With the incumbent?
Yes.
Because I've been here several times to talk about this outgoing government. It failed Ekiti people in so many ways. And I'm angry again because of the huge debt profile of Ekiti at the moment. Yes, governance is not an easy thing. Yes, it is not cheap. But please, don't just mortgage the future of my child, not even me, my child. I'm an Ekiti individual, I'm an Ekiti indigene. This government, outgoing, tried its best possible. But that best, honestly, has been so far below expectations. Don't forget, he has a PhD. You can imagine the class of people that he came out of. And I'm sure that class is thoroughly disappointed as well. You needed to have been in Ekiti in the past 43 months. Now, we've had 9 extrajudicial killings in Ekiti. I'm a mother, I'm a wife. I imagine how the mother of Olusegun Ogundare will be feeling. We visited that woman, aged. I wept. 9 people. People have been rendered fatherless. Children. Young women have become widows overnight. I saw the wives of Olusegun Ogundare. I was shaking my head. In Ekiti today, I am angry because you still have master's degree holders riding Okadas. It is absolutely abysmal.
Did they play
2014.
direct role in the elections, in the victory?
You mean
or
these
the loss?
Okada riders?
Yes, the point you're raising.
Sure, of course. And that's why the incumbent, that's why it lost.
But we understand that he has a different budgeting process from all the other state governors. We understand that what he does, from what we're told, is that he has this local government where everybody comes in, they speak about what they want to be included in the budget, they take note, they infuse it into the budget. So
Chamberlain,
doesn't that happen?
It's sheer waste of time.
But it happens.
It's sheer waste of time. It was just wasting time, buying time unnecessarily. For a government that is serious, you had a blueprint, you've sold your manifesto to the electorate ab initio. If you had a local government administration in place, you didn't need to do that. He was only taking over the job of the local government staff. But because that vacuum has been there all along, since the beginning of his administration, it has been caretaker committees here and there. Every 6 months, he takes them off, puts another set of...
Are you talking about grassroots governance?
Yes. If you had that, you didn't need to start... Ekiti has about 132 towns and villages. Now, the sitting governor would not need to visit each of those towns and villages and then have a town hall meeting to begin to ask you, so Chamberlain in your village, what exactly do people need? Everybody will want to say one thing or the other. Of course, there will be a litany of requests or programs or activities that will say, okay, we need 132 towns and villages. You wouldn't need to do that if you put the right machinery in place for you to get those feedback from the people. Of course, no man is an island. The governor cannot do it all alone. And that's why you have commissioners, special advisors, senior special advisors. And let me tell you this. In the history of Ekiti State, this outgoing government has had the largest number of retinue of aides. Largest. And I remember, I served in the government of Segun Oni then. That was a compact government. One thing that this set of people used to hit hard at the government of Segun Oni then was that it was even having too many aides, even though it was so compact then. As they came into government, if everything they kicked against then, while on the on the other side, they actually did when they got into government. So why, as we're right now, history. I mean, the past is only a story told. The future can still be written in gold. It's an outgoing government. In the next few weeks, the government is out of the place. Another one will come in. So I think by now they would have been, every member of this government would have sat down to actually take stock and know pitfalls and, of course, few achievements, and then they move on.
What's the future of the Labour Party in Ekiti State?
It's very bright. It's actually the bride. It's the beautiful bride right now. The future is quite bright. The structure is there already. in every nook and cranny of the state, we have structures on ground. And that's why I said to you.
I'm particular about grassroots.
Yes.
You've talked about the absence of local government administration,
Yes.
which you say is all about
Yes.
caretakers running the affairs of grassroots governance in Ekiti State.
Yes.
What is your party doing to stay in touch with the grassroots?
Our party, from this week, we continue with our various ward meetings. We've said that, we've had a post-election meeting, and we had agreed that we'll continue with our meetings, we'll continue to keep touch with it, to maintain constant touch with the electorate, because we must not lose touch with the grassroots. The Labour Party, the future of that party is very bright in Ekiti, because it's actually the party for the masses. It's the worker-friendly party, and we know the support, the overwhelming support and encouragement we've enjoyed from Ekiti people. And we are also aware that the leader of our party, a candidate at the last elections, like I said, somebody that is well loved by the people. He's a grassroots
Why
person.
isn't it reflect in the figures?
I told you, so many things happened. And a lot of what happened actually, I would not want to delve into those details now. I'm sure in the next couple of weeks, they'll come into the fore, and then we can actually talk more about that.
What?
So much happened. But that, the incident of Monday throughout the week up until Saturday morning, I mean, did a lot. I mean, for God's sake, how can we score 18,000 votes in an election? When the candidate of that party, like I said to you earlier on, ran, for election on the 2 local governments and even scored 47,000.
Overall, what's your membership strength? I asked before, I wanted to know how many do you have as card-carrying members of your party?
We have hundreds of thousands of people as card-carrying members. I told you the list we have in a polling unit. The list is about 250.
So your membership figure
Cuts across the state.
Did it also equate with your results?
No, not at all. Far from it.
So
Couldn't have been.
It means some of your members didn't cast a ballot for their candidate.
It's not impossible. It's not impossible.
Okay, is your candidate going to go to court?
No, we're not.
All right.
But we're not.
Okay. I'd like to thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you, Chamberlain.
This is
Thank you.
Bolanle Olatunde-Bruce, is the Publicity Secretary of Labour Party in Ekiti State.
Thank you.
Let's flip over for the headline news with Ayodele Fayose.